morning deep dive into the day's biggest headlines. We're flipping through the front pages, breaking down the news that matters, and serving you a fresh, sharp perspective to kickstart your day the right way. From politics to people, policy to power, we read it so you don't have to. Let's break it down together. My name is ADEOLA IBRAHIM. Quite a lot of national dailies this morning, but I'd like to remind you first off that we are live on Facebook. It is 32 FM 94.9 𝐿𝐸 with double A's. Kickstarting the morning today, the 8th of October 2025, with a Punch newspaper. The lead story says, countdown to 2027. Tinubu to pick new INEC chairman this week. Yakubu steps down. The president consults the Council of State session process on the spotlight. Away from that, too, page 2, displaced Borno residents recount Boko Haram invasion. And around page 28, World Bank dismisses Nigeria's single-digit inflation target. How Abbas intervention stalled minority leaders' impeachment. And right beneath the paper, we have police pensioners. The rally for protest after talks collapse. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu aces to National Assembly bills over policy clash. And the final story on the Punch newspaper says, cultists kill 4 in Lagos and Ogun communities. Away from the Punch to Nigerian Tribune, the lead story says, certificate scandal, 𝐂𝐎𝐿𝐸 resigns as minister. And away from that to Osun local government funds, the Supreme Court reserves judgment in state suit against the Attorney General of the Federation. Also, we have this one saying President Bola Tinubu writes the Senate. It will told it has sent to 2 bills. It says the federal government must prevent the abuse of funds. On page 26, a similar story to what we had on the Punch about INEC. Yakubu proceeds on terminal leave. He hands over to Umbu, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu honors him with national award. Away from that to this, it says new tax regime. The federal government targets relief for 98% of workers. Ogun Airport record first commercial flight as NACA approves operation in Ekiti Airport. SANU, NASU to protest October 9 over federal government failure to meet demands. And the final story on the Nigerian Tribune, ACF wants the federal government to protect Dangote refinery in nation's interests. Away from the Nigerian Tribune to the Guardian newspaper, the lead story says North Central anxiety lingers over insecurity, fate of displaced persons. Natasha returns to Senate after 6-month suspension. 2027, President Bola Tinubu sheds political baggage as embattled Minister Nnaji resigns. Tajuddin Abbas and Abia lawmaker clash over Nnamdi Kanu's health conditions. And right above the paper, we have Senate, the 10-year passport ban for Nigerians convicted abroad. On page 3, new tax law exempt over 90% of Nigerians from payee, says Oyedele. And those are the stories on the front page of The Guardian this morning. Away from The Guardian newspaper to The Nation, the story here about Inanji again, about certificate scandal. Inanji resigns ministerial position, decision due to sustained blackmail and persecution. The president accepts his resignation. And away from that to federal government to refinance expensive debt portfolio, says Wale Edo. And right above the paper, we have scheduled flight begin at Ogun Gateway Airport, NACA certificate Ekiti Airport. And away from that to this, on page 36, Supreme Court reserved judgment in Osun Council foreign suit. And this one says, Oyedele, 98% of work has to be exempted from the payee. And those are the stories. Okay, we have one more story about the FCCPC withdrawing criminal charge against MultiChoice Chairman Managing Director. And those are the stories on the front page of The Nation. I'd like to remind you that we are live on Facebook. It is 32 FM 94.9 𝐿𝐸. You can go there. You can drop your comment already, and be rest assured that we take every of the comment during the course of the show. All right, let's move away from that and check out what we have on The Guardian this morning. Or I beg your pardon, let's check the Vanguard. All right, now on the Vanguard newspaper, we have the story about Federal Highway of Oro 2, motorist travelers in anguish. Away from that to this, it says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu seeks National Assembly approval for $2.3 billion external borrowing and about $500 million has been requested from the sovereign Sukuk. It says our joint security operation ended 11-day Calabar or a hostage ordeal. And the Southwest Youth Stage protest, they urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to support local refining industry. Role over appointment of Senate clerk as civil group petitions the National Assembly. Corrupt civil servant allegedly fingered in River State Secretary fire. Alleged $4.5 billion fraud. 𝐒𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐑, a phone forensic test was stored as the EFCC and defense disagree. Custom intensifies anti-smuggling operations. Also, we have the saying federal government seeks evacuation of Nigerian pastor from Benin Republic. Away from that, it says certificate forgery allegation. Why Minister Godfrey Inaji resigned. No local government on the siege of Bandit. So says Kwara State government. Enugu government ensures 9,000 farmers partners presidency on food security. And those are the stories that I see on the Vanguard this morning. Now let's check out what we have on the Daily Trust this morning. Like I said, we have quite a lot of, repetitions. We have the Hynix story. We have the Inaji resigning as well. Let's check out other different story on Daily Trust. The lister on Daily Trust this morning says 2027, the African Democratic Congress set criteria for candidate. And away from that, FAN launches Operation Go Cashless at Abuja Airport. Kano target 180 billion IGR in 2026. Federal government to sustain Naira for crude sale with local refiners. ECOWAS. Nigeria calls for equity, fairness, and rotation of statutory appointees. And we have this one also about the minister already accused of forging his certificate. He resigned. And also Mahmoud Yakubu bows out as INEC chairman, hands over to Agba. Also 2027, the ADC leaders in closed-door meeting. And those are the stories on the front page of the Daily Trust. Let's just probably had a few more stories. We have this one on channels. Yeah, we have this one also about Natasha attending in plenary. That story is there after suspension. Also, we have this one about alleged $4.5 billion fraud. EFCC defense clash over modalities in forensic examination in Emefiele's trial. Also, we have President Bola Ahmed Tinubu conferring national honor on Yakubu, except exit as INEC chairman. It is 14 minutes gone past 6. I'd like to remind you again that we are live on Facebook. Drop that comment. Let us know what you think about the stories already. It is 32 FM 949 Fenya. Now, we're on a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be joined by our in-house analyst. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM, 94.9, the antidote to depression.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development and the care they need with the new NAN-KID 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics to help your child's digestion and development, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. And all of these work together to support your child's development and growth today and tomorrow. NAN-KID 4. Nourish your child's potential.
In the kitchen game, there are players and then Agba Ballers, MVP, Player of the Year, 10-0, no rival. Become an Agba Baller with the new improved Maggi chicken flavor, made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric to bring out your top game in the kitchen. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
Ẹ̀yin fans mi.
It's okay.
Ẹ lọ sórí gbogbo ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ ní 32 FM 949 fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ àsáàpù. It's okay.
Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
Ó ga o, gbogbo ìgbà tí mo bá fi owó ránṣẹ́ tàbí gbowó wọlé, fíá, wọ́n kàn máa fa oríṣiríṣi owó yọ lọ́wọ́ mi ni. Owó àláàtì, owó ìfowóránṣẹ́ àti owó lórí pé mo san bíìlì pẹ̀lú. Mo kàn láàánú ènìyàn rárá o.
Ṣé o ti gbọ́ pé pẹ̀lú Smart Cash o lè fi owó ránṣẹ́ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ mìíràn, san gbogbo bíìlì rẹ kó dẹ̀ tún gba àláàtì, gbogbo rẹ̀ lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́?
Lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́?
Kódà wọ́n tún máa san ìdá 15 owó èlérí fún ẹ lórí owó tí o bá fi pamọ́ lọ́dún.
Ṣé lóòótọ́? Àwẹ̀ fọ́nà mi. Báwo ni mo ṣe máa darapọ̀ mọ́ Smart Cash?
Ó yá ká lọ. Kàn tẹ *939# tàbí kí o dáńlóòdù áàpù Smart Cash lónìí kí o lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní gbádùn gbogbo ìdúnàdúrà rẹ láì ní owó àfikún kankan. Smart Cash, money matter na sense. Smart Cash wá látọwọ́ ADEOLA.
Mommy, Golden Penny is giving away 4 billion naira prizes for the 65th anniversary. Just buy Golden Penny noodles, pasta, or semovita. Check inside pack for code. Send code on WhatsApp and win airtime instantly. With 10 packs of Golden Penny noodles, 3 pasta, or 3 500 grams or 1 kilogram semovita, you can join the raffle and start a chance to win cash prizes, kitchen makeovers, and even a car.
Promo starts from September 22nd, 2025. For more information, visit www.goldenpennypromo.com.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Yes.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids Milo 3-in-1, milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo. One day now, one day. What no go rest deep in. Say you still fit go on holiday. Make you know they complain. Retire in grand style. Make it worth your while. Choose a partner that won't stress you out. Let's shape your future. Access ARM is working for you. Access ARM is investing for you. To live a life that you dream for you. We no go for your head.
Let's help you shape the future you deserve. Access ARM Pensions. Future shaping.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, Diola.
I just want to say that I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Hello, Daddy. I just want to say again that I love you and I like that we look alike. Hello, Auntie.
Hi, Diola.
How are you?
I'm fine.
How's family? I hope everyone is good. My regards to everyone.
I will, my dear.
Whoa. Diola, this is the 3rd time you're calling me. How much airtime do you need?
Airtime care? When I have Glow Talk Master, I'm basically getting 6 minutes free talk time for every 6 minutes call I make every day, plus 50 MB data bonus. And for new customers like me, I get additional 25 minutes talk time and 1 GB data welcome bonus. That's why I only make calls with my Glow line now.
Enjoy free 6 minutes plus 50 MB data on every 6 minutes call you make in a day on Glow Talk Master. And enjoy a one-time 2,000 Naira welcome bonus. That's a 25 minutes talk time and 1 GB worth of data. Get your Glow line and dial *606# to enjoy. Terms and conditions apply.
Glow Unlimited.
32 FM
94.9.
All right, welcome back. It is Breaking Dawn on right here at 32 FM 94.9. All right, now we're joined by our in-house analyst to make sense of the stories making rounds on our national dailies. We're joined by Mr. Austin Edumor. Good morning.
Good morning, ADEOLA, and thank you for having me.
All right, so great to have you on the show this morning. All right, we have quite a lot of stories this morning. I don't know how we can manage time to touch the stories. But before we talk about INEC, or we talk about Inaji, who resigned as a minister under the cabinet of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, let's kickstart with borrowing. I'm very particular about borrowing. When I see borrowing, it just gets my attention. There's this one about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu seeking National Assembly's nod for about $2.3 billion fresh loan. So in case they're asking, this is an addition to a plan as well to issue a $500 million sovereign sukuk. And this will mark Nigeria's debut in the international Islamic finance market. And I want to have conversations with economists about borrowing. They say, okay, even the senior clients that we look up to, they borrow. China, US, they all borrow money. But I want to ask a question. Do you think we're borrowing money for what is exactly needed in Nigeria? And are we seeing the result of borrowing in this country? Austin.
Yeah, we have never seen result of borrowing, and it's always very difficult for us to be able to economically itemize the fact that Nigerian government have always borrowed for critical investment or critical infrastructure. But the idea is this: most of the time, we tend to talk about this borrowing when the president writes the National Assembly. Don't forget, some of this content of borrowing has been captured in the 2025 appropriation bill. So it's not as it's a new borrowing, but the National Assembly is just required to give a nod to the president. All we can say is that, of course, this will expand our borrowing scope. This will mean that we are going to borrow more money. Our debt is going to increase. Then the government must justify the reasons for this borrowing. Like you have said in your opening statement, advanced countries too also borrow. The strongest economies of the world, they are also like the biggest borrowers. But then you must be able to pinpoint infrastructure, a form of development that has direct impact on the life of the people vis-a-vis borrowing. And we also want to urge the federal government. Of course, the president has boasted times without number that revenue is increasing. This is what we can see. The economic outlook is positive as a result of perhaps the reform that the president has put in place. So if you are getting more money, you should reduce the speed of your borrowing. That is just like economic sense, what we can say. However, let's see how the National Assembly goes about this, especially that of the sukuk, sovereign sukuk, that started in 2017.
Yeah.
To date, I think around 3 trillion has been funded. Projects have been funded to the tune of 1.3 trillion as a result of sukuk, and we can visibly see some of the road infrastructure, road project. At times when you drive across major highway, you will see maybe like a banner or a signage that's sukuk bond. So if the government can tie some of this borrowing to specific infrastructure, specific projects that has the capacity to even repay itself, that would be a good one for the country.
All right, just because of our time limitation, I would move on. But I would have loved to ask about fee subsidy, because I remember when we had the campaign for 2023 election, the major candidates came out, Atiku, Peter Obi, and even the current president, they all came out to say, we're removing subsidy so we can have more money in Nigeria's account. Now, how then do we have removal of subsidy and we're still borrowing this much? I think this is a conversation for another day. But let's move on. We have about 2 more stories to touch on. This story about INEC chairman Mahmood Yakubu. Just yesterday, somebody else took over. That's the National Commissioner at the Independent National Electoral Commission. That's May Agbamuche. She has taken over as the acting chairman of the commission. It followed the former handover of duties by Professor Mahmood Yakubu, who is proceeding on a terminal leave. And, persons have reacted. A lot of persons have reacted. Even before now, some persons are calling for the removal of Mahmood Yakubu. At some point, some person says the president should not be the one in charge to appoint INEC chairman. Now, going forward, what do you expect from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Because there's a report here saying that the president will be appointing, maybe this week, a new INEC chairman. So what are your expectations from the president?
Yeah, it's most likely that a new name will come up this week. The National Council of State meeting has been scheduled for Thursday, and bearing any last-minute change, the duty of that body, comprising former head of state and the 36 state governor, is to advise the president on who becomes the INEC chairman. Of course, a lot of people have come up with advice, especially former President Olusegun Obasanjo, former President Goodluck Jonathan. They felt that the president should not have like a sweeping power in appointing INEC chairman. But as far as today is concerned, that is still our laws. Some of these former presidents that are coming out now, they also appointed INEC chairman during their time. So a lot has really changed as far as our electoral cycle, electoral reform is concerned. Mahmoud Yakub incidentally got the second time in office, making him the first INEC chairman to have served 2 times of 5 years. That's about 10 years. He has done his bit. Of course, INEC alone cannot improve the standard and the quality, even the credibility of our election. There are a lot of dimensions and angles to that. What I want the president to do is that let there be a name of an impeccable person, someone who has capacity, someone who has competence, and integrity also matters. Apart from the law, like I said earlier, we can't ask the National Assembly to amend the law today because President Bola Tinubu wants to appoint an INEC chairman. Even if you are still using the old template wherein the president will be the one to nominate, I really want to see like a possibility where the president can nominate and subject such individual to public scrutiny, to public opinion, let people examine the credentials of this person, let people examine the capacity of this person, his ability to deliver vis-a-vis background check, experience, and what have you. I would have loved a situation like that. But as far as the power of appointment, by today's law, that still rests squarely on the president. Let's hope that the president, at the end of the day, will appoint an individual that, of course, will be well acceptable to generality of Nigeria, especially the overwhelming majority of the people. There is nobody you appoint. There is nobody the president or the governor will appoint. A lot of people will still want to cast aspersion here and there. But there is a level of appointment that you get to that people will say, oh, this is like a perfect fit for this job. So let's hope that at the end of the day, the president will throw up a name that people will accept, a name of someone who has never been politically affiliated in whatever capacity before, because that also had to do with the quality and the credibility of our election. The emergence of who becomes the INEC chairman is very, very strategic and is very, very important. So my advice is that how I wish the president, based on the existing law, can throw up an individual and maybe just give like 1 or 2 weeks for people to look at this person when people complain, because we have had national commissioners of INEC, people are appointed into INEC, and you see a lot of petitions written against them. So we want an INEC chairman that will be able to live above board, an INEC chairman that, for example, 100 million will not matter to him or her. That is the type of person that we want as the next INEC chairman.
All right. Just like you said, we'll keep open. Let's see what happens this week. All right, let's move on to the story about the Science Minister, Uche Inaji. That's the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology. He resigned from President Bola Tinubu's government. And, prior to his resignation, there has been controversy trailing his certificate, said to be obtained from the University of Nigeria, that's Nsukka, Enugu State, as well as his National Youth Service Corps NYSC discharge certificate. He claimed that he graduated from UNN in 1975, and this report from this citadel could not be authenticated. Also, NYSC cannot be authenticated, according to NYSC as well. I want your reaction. I mean, this is a lot to digest. Some persons are saying you can't just resign. Other steps should be taken. Do you agree with, reactions from people saying you can't just resign following this? Do you think steps should be taken by the president, for submitting a forged document to the presidency and National Assembly?
Absolutely, yes. The first step is to resign, which is very important. That he has resigned. As at yesterday, people were calling on the president to sack him. I said that is the reason why all of us have contributed in making our president one of the most powerful presidents in the world. See, it's not every matter that the president will be involved in. There was record that you gain admission. No record suggests that you graduated. Where did you get the results, the certificate that you presented to the DSS, to the Senate, and even to Mr. President himself? There were discrepancies. I was so ashamed when I saw 1985 sets certificate that were displayed. There were discrepancies. Even the NYC certificates, there are a lot of variants, which clearly shows that this tech minister forged that particular certificate. If UNN did not issue that certificate and you actually submitted one, where did you get it from? So the first point of call is for him to step aside. Now that he has stepped aside, let there be investigation. He should face the music. That is forgery, and forgery is punishable by sections of our laws. Then that also threw up the credibility of our recruitment process. Some people check his credentials. The credentials were submitted to the DSS. So what were they doing? There was a security report that stopped an individual from becoming minister. Yet that same security report bypassed this individual, and this individual was screened to become the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. There are a lot of unaji in the system across board. So we must be able to purge ourselves even as a people. That's what it means. So he has resigned. Of course, that should not, it shouldn't end there. The DSS, the Senate, they misled all of us because the process of credential or document evaluation is to be able to authenticate this document. So if documents were submitted and it will now take an investigative report, maybe 2 years down the line, to say that, oh, this person did not actually get those certificates, he perhaps forged them. It means that we have a long way to go. So the DSS is liable. Those in the Senate too, they are liable. This is what we talk about. When people go for screening in the Senate, they are largely screened on the basis of political party. Or maybe Mr. President wanted this person. Some of them will simply bow and go. How about their capacity? How about their credentials? What you don't have, you are not supposed to submit what you don't have. Of course, what is ordinarily expected from a minister, the same qualification for members of the House of Rep is also the same qualification for ministerial appointment. But I don't know why people will have to go extra mile to falsify a document that they did not earn. So this is absolutely punishable. Nigeria has resigned. Let's security operative take it off from there. Who punishes the DSS, for example, in this matter? Who punishes the Senate in this matter? Because all of them, in my view, all these institutions, they are culpable. Who punishes them for the crime that is being committed by Unaji? Unaji collected our money, don't forget. He has been paid for the past 2 years. That is forgery. That is misleading. So who punishes? Unaji should be punished.
Austin,
how do we punish the Senate? How do we punish the DSS?
For not doing their job. I mean, like I said, we have just too many interesting headlines this morning. It's not about stopping Jonathan from contesting, but I mean, we can't touch all the headlines this morning. We need to go on a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll turn the microphone over to our callers. Stick around. It is the Breaking Down Papers Review on 32 FM 94.9. Stick around. Don't go anywhere.
Happiness is a choice that we want you to make always. Choose to be happy. Choose 32 FM 94.9 Ibadan.
Aago méjì òwúrọ̀ ló lù. Owó àti ẹ̀bùn tó tó bílíọ̀nù 4 ló sì ti wà fún jíjẹ nínú ìpolongo rà kó o sì jẹ ti ọdún karùndínláàádọ́rin golden penny. Rà fi ránṣẹ́ kó o sì jẹ kí gbogbo ẹ̀ tó tán.
Oríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà ló lè fi gbádùn mílìkì pink chocolate oníyẹ̀fun. Àwọn kan gbádùn rẹ̀ ní gbígbóná.
Àwọn mìíràn gbádùn mímu ní tútù.
Àwọn kan sì fẹ́ràn láti yá amújúmọ́ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀.
Ó ti tó jáde.
Farabalẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, jẹ̀gbádùn àpòpọ̀ kòkó, mílìkì àti ṣúgà nínú mílìkì pink chocolate oníyẹ̀fun aládùn chocolate. Peak, rich for your peak.
Is that Alfie playing football in the rain?
It's Toby Chio. My goodness.
When did he grow up? That's it with kids, so.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development with the new 𝐷 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. 𝐷 4. Nourish your child's potential.
Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Ó ga o, gbogbo ìgbà tí mo bá fi owó ránṣẹ́ tàbí gbowó wọlé, fíám, wọ́n kàn máa fa oríṣiríṣi owó yọ lọ́wọ́ mi ni. Owó àláàtì, owó ìfowóránṣẹ́ àti owó lórí pé mo san bíìlì pẹ̀lú. Mo kàn láàánú ènìyàn rárá o.
Ṣé o ti gbọ́ pé pẹ̀lú smart cash o lè fi owó ránṣẹ́ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ mìíràn, san gbogbo bíìlì rẹ kó dẹ̀ tún gba àláàtì, gbogbo rẹ̀ lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Kódà wọ́n tún máa san ìdá 15% owó èlérí fún ẹ lórí owó tí o bá fi pamọ́ lọ́dún.
Ṣé lóòótọ́? Àwẹ̀ fọ́nà mi. Báwo ni mo ṣe máa darapọ̀ mọ́ smart cash?
Ó yá ká lọ. Kàn tẹ *939# tàbí kí o dáńlóòdù áàpù smart cash lónìí kí o lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní gbádùn gbogbo ìdúnàdúrà rẹ láì ní owó àfikún kankan. Smart cash, money matter na sense. Smart cash wá látọwọ́ ADEOLA.
In the cooking game, you need a winning game plan. I'm not just talking about your fresh ingredients, utensils, or cooking skills. I'm talking about your choice of seasoning. My game plan is incomplete without Maggi chicken flavor. Made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric, it's my game changer. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious, rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
Guess what, Nigeria? The Kellogg's Superstar Quiz Show is back with season 4. Get ready to watch young superstars from schools across Nigeria battle it out in the ultimate contest of knowledge, speed, and fun. Catch all the excitement from 12th October on Z World, DSTV channel 166, and GoTV channel 30 every Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. sharp. It's going to be a thrilling journey of learning, laughter, and superstar moments, and you don't want to miss it.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, Diola.
I just want to say that I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Hello, Daddy. I just want to say again that I love you and I like that we look alike. Hello, Auntie.
Hi, Diola.
How are you?
I'm fine.
How is family? I hope everyone is good. My regards to everyone.
I will, my dear.
Whoa. Diola, this is the 3rd time you're calling me. How much airtime do you need?
Airtime care? When I have Glow Talk Master, I'm basically getting 6 minutes free talk time for every 6 minutes call I make every day, plus 50 MB data bonus. And for new customers like me, I get additional 25 minutes talk time and 1 GB data welcome bonus. That's why I only make calls with my Glow line now.
Enjoy free 6 minutes plus 50 MB data on every 6 minutes call you make in a day on Glow Talk Master. And enjoy a one-time 2,000 Naira welcome bonus. That's 25 minutes talk time and 1 GB worth of data. Get your Glow line and dial *606# to enjoy. Terms and conditions apply.
Glow Unlimited.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, welcome back. It is Paper Reviews with ADEOLA IBRAHIM right here on 32 FM 94.9. At this point, we'll be getting reactions from you, quite a lot of stories you can react to. And don't forget that we're live on Facebook. It is 32 FM 949 Fenye. You can see the likes of Mr. Sulaiman Sharif, Adedamola Okunlola, Miriam Yetunde. I'll take this comment, but let me call out the studio lines. The numbers to call to be a part of the show. You can call 0705 5949, 0705 5949, or alternatively call 0809 7949, or you call 0906 2949. All right, let's go straight to the studio lines. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Adeola.
Good morning. How you doing?
That's ADEOLA.
Thank you very much. What's the name?
My name is Ade from UI.
Good to have you, Mr. Ade.
Let me greet our boss too, Brilliant analyst, Austin. It's very wonderful. I want to conclude where I want to wrap it up where he concluded on the nudge. If I happen to be from a country that I like to have come from, not in Nigeria, the president or there will be no sanction for the leadership of the Senate that clear the man. But country people can demonstrate peaceful protest against such a person's leadership. Even for being a senator, it is very, very wrong. Okay. For being senators, those who clear them, they should step aside for being leadership of the Senate. Because if you look at the international communities, there are some restrictions against African countries now from coming to their countries. And this is basically because of Nigeria. The way we choose leaders, our characters. If it was the remaining ministers, now a lot of them would have forged certificates. When I wanted to get a job, they went to my school to check my results, and every of our staff. The senators, the Senate president, the speaker, the two of them now, by now should have stepped aside for clearing such a person in the first place. That is how to bring sanity to the country. Right. But they will still continue to be Senate president now, and you clear that is incompetence. You step aside for that, for misleading the president that this person have cleared him. In fact, is corruption.
All right.
That's the best of today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Day, for your contributions. Don't forget 0906 2000 949 0705 5000 949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Austin, for being there today. I'm John News on Joko.
All right, good to have you.
It's okay that Yakubu has finally stepped down. Some professors are scholars, but they may not be fine administrators. Yakubu set the country up and the people so only to dash the hope of Nigerians talking about 2023 elections. As even, let me say this, that the inability of INEC to transmit results electronically tainted the outcome of the 2023 election, no matter the winner. I say again, no matter the winner, before people read into my comment. As even confirmed by the Supreme Court in its ruling that year, that the action to release election electronically denied the electorate the opportunity to follow and cross-check results that were eventually uploaded. Number two, builds the confidence of the voting population in the electoral process.
All right.
The president is at the liberty to give him national honor, but that's my own.
All right.
Concerning INT'L, I think the best thing to do is to charge into court for forgery.
All right.
Presenting forgery certificates, as that we only serve as deterrent. It's only the court that can order refund of the money he has collected. But let him be charged to court. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for calling. Let's take some comment on Facebook. We have Mr. Sulaiman Sheriff says, President Bola Tinubu seeking loan to fund the 2025 budget at the last quarter is like Oventa one chance vehicle because a few weeks ago, Mr. President told Nigerians that there is no more borrowing after seeing light at the end of the tunnel. What is now the essence of removing the subsidy and white tax nest? And its predecessors that did not remove subsidy without white tax did not borrow up to this. My question, begging for answers. Thank you very much, Mr. Sulaiman Sharif. We have Madam Adedamola Okunola saying, beautiful morning to you in the studio. I wish the INEC chairman is not being chosen by the president, but by an independent body, because at the end of the day, the body is not totally independent. If it continues this way, we will not have a free and fair election at the end of the day. All right, we also have Madam Mariam Yetunde saying, good morning. As Mr. President prepares to appoint a new INEC chairman, I hope the selection process prioritizes the interest of the Nigerian people. And also Mr. Fawale Femi says, top of the morning to 32 FM family. It says the resignation of Minister of Technology from the Executive Council is honorable to preserve the dignity of our dear country. However, the minister can now take a step to pursue his case in the law court with the University of his having sufficient evidence to prove his claim. All right, thank you, Mr. Fawale Femi. And also Adeshi Samuel says, good morning. The issue of insecurity will likely persist in Nigeria as long as the federal government fails to address it with the seriousness it deserves. All right, I'll come back to Facebook. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Adeola.
Good morning. What's the name?
My name is Benga Maria, calling from Apata.
Good to have you, Mr. Benga. Let's hear you.
Thank you. God will make way for you in this industry in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you.
Now, on the issue of Unanji, some people are saying they should do. I'm not saying what they have done is good. It's very bad. It's a condemnable act. But how about, and they said the money he has collected as salary as a minister should be returned to the federal government. And my question is this. How about the NNPCL, who have told us that the refinery is working and they have spent over billions of dollars on that refinery? and yet it's not working, and the money, they have collected the money, and no head is rolling yet. And somebody, a minister came, spent 2-3 years, and I'm telling him that they should snuff life out of him. No, what he did is wrong, I understand.
Okay.
But we have to sanitize the whole system. Those corruptible leaders, corrupt leaders that we have found, that have been found or held accountable in the past. What have we done to them? They have been, where is he today? That guy, may know that, that took pension money away. Where is the guy today? So many atrocities that they have committed. Where are those guys today? And now we want to snuff life out of this guy for what he has done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I mean, we have limited time. Let's stick to a minute. Let's take this comment from Mr. Okediro Babatani saying, ADEOLA, Ibrahim, welcome. Thank you. Oladele Idowu Joseph says, good morning, 32 FM. It baffles me. After removing fuel subsidy, why are we still borrowing? Borrowing for what? To what is stolen again? Are we now a borrowing republic? Must debt be our only survival strategy? Perhaps we should find out if other oil-producing nations like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE also go borrowing sprees like we do here. Says, good morning, ADEOLA Ibrahim. Thank you very much, Mr. Oladele Idowu Joseph. All right, we have this one from Mr. Okediro Babatunde. He says, a Nigerian will be appointed as INEC chairman. The president will surely do the needful, but will never appoint his enemy. Whoever is appointed should be capable and be a man of integrity. We will revitalize the electoral process. He says, Hello for Kombale. Thank you, Mr. Okediro Babatunde. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good to have you, Mr. John Olarawaju.
Thank you very much, Mr. Well, let me just quickly say my own comment. On the issue of Mahmoud, as far as I'm concerned, the only statement that annoyed me is about Mahmoud has conducted a credible election. And at the end of the day, he was awarded a CON. For what? That is the wrong thing that we normally doing in this country. We normally give the honor to whom the honor is not deserved, as far as I'm concerned. Because I don't know the kind of credible election somebody will be telling me that when you promise the Nigerians, the whole Nigerians, that you are going to transmit the results of 2023, and on that day you make a complaint, or a baseless complaint as far as I'm concerned, because that very day that you make a complaint about network, the same day you conducted the senatorial election, and you used it, and you transmitted it. Why you fail to transmit the presidential election? Which kind of credible is that one? Thank you and good morning.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. John Olarawaju. We need to wrap up at this point. I can see you, Honorable Akekome Camille Dikrola Afa Banishi, Babalola George, Biodo Ogunderan. Thank you very much to everyone on Facebook. All right, thank you so much. My analyst, Austin, thank you so much for your insightful perspective this morning.
Thank you.
All right, enjoy the rest of your day. And to your listeners, enjoy the rest of your day. My name is ADEOLA Ibrahim. Coming up is the Smart Kids Show with Auntie Sumba. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked on 32 FM 94.9.